honor the vision and foresight of our founding fathers who drafted our unique document, Constitution of India, on November 26, 1949. It was the day when our Constitution of India was adopted. To begin and celebrate this commemoration of 75th Constitution Day and the enrollment function, let us begin with the prayer and blessings of the Almighty. Kindly rise for the prayer.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிது திக்கணமும் அது சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம் வியந்து செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Now I request our young and dynamic chairman of the Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, to welcome the gathering on this occasion.
Good evening to all. My Lord, Honorable Chief Justice, Justice Sadish Kumar, Justice Dandabani, Judges of the Madras High Court, Justice K.N. Basha, former Judge of the Madras High Court, Mr. P.S. Raman, Advocate General, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of Bar Council of India, Mr. Ravi, Senior Advocate, Mr. Edwin Prabhakar, Government Advocate, Mr. B. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry, Mr. K. Balu, the Chairman, Enrollment Committee, Mr. D. Saravanan and Mrs. J. Priscilla Pandian, members of the Enrollment Committee, respective Co-Chairman and Executive Chairman, our Mr. Mogana Krishnan, the Co-Chairman, Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry, Mr. Thalai Mutharastu, Mr. Vel Murugan, members of the Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry, other members of the Bar Council, Mr. T. Jahir Hussain, Advocate, other dignitaries, all new entrants and their family members, present media. Once again, good evening to all. As the Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, I take this opportunity with immense pleasure to welcome one and all for the commemoration of Constitution Day and the enrollment function in the presence of the Honorable Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. The Honorable Chief Justice of Madras High Court was born in Mumbai, completed a BCom in Financial Accountancy and Management, and did law course at Mumbai University. The Honorable Judge also completed LLM, Maritime Law, from King's College, London. The Honorable Chief Justice was enrolled before the Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa on 3rd day of July 1986. The Honorable Chief Justice is well equipped in commercial matters with a specialization in shipping and international trade law, Forts Act, Customs Act, Motor Vehicle Act, Marine Insurance and Company Laws. The Honorable Chief Justice was appointed as Judge of the Bombay High Court in the year of 2013 and taken oath as Chief Justice of the Chartered High Court on 27th day of September 2024. Due to the vast experience of the Honorable Chief Justice in the judiciary, the Honorable Chief Justice discharges onerous judicial function with a great credibility, The Honorable Chief Justice imbibed with the qualities of impartiality and integrity and has become an asset of the Chartered High Court. I wholeheartedly welcome the Honorable Bar Friendly Judge and still coordinates with the Bar Council activities for the welfare of the advocates. I welcome Judge. I also welcome all other dignitaries, legal fraternity, press and media, all new entrants and their family members to the auspicious occasions. Every year, we are celebrating the Constitution Day, also known as National Law Day, to honor the adoption of our Constitution of India. This day honors the vision and efforts of the Constituent Assembly. In this great occasion, I am happy to express few words about our Constitution. I state with the quote of the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the father of our Indian Constitution. The Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and its spirit is always the spirit of age. The Indian Constitution is the holy book of India. The Indian Constitution is the highest, longest written constitution in the world. On 29th day of August 1947, a drafting committee was constituted headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairman of the drafting committee. The Indian Constitution was drafted by 299 delegates from the different caste, region, religion, gender, etc. And they have spent 2 years, 11 months and 18 days for drafting our Constitution. On 26th day, November 1949, a Constitution of India was passed and adopted by the Constituent Assembly. The Constitution was legally enforced on January 26, 1950. In post-independence, India faced various political and emotional problems, the most problematic being rehabilitation and re-establishment of the immigrants, maintaining the law and order, implementing the law of equality, and amalgamating the princely states. All such difficulties being faced not only in that era, but also elongated future, were scrutinized by the committee, and they have drafted the Constitution in such manner to overcome all the complications. The Indian Constitution serves as the foundational document defining India's democratic, secular, and egalitarian framework, and more than past 7 decades, it has guided the nation through political, social, economic transformations, upholding justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The Constitution is the ultimate law of our nation. It is the set of rules, laws, and regulations that guide country's administrations. As per the resolution passed by the Supreme Court of Bar Association during the year 1979, the 26th day of November was commemorated as National Law Day. It was on November 19, 2015, the Government of India by Gazette notification declared the 26th November as the Constitution Day. The real commemoration not ends with the celebrating the day, but actually recounts when all of us show reverence towards the constitutional value and to follow its norms. I believe that all the new entrants would follow the same at all occasions. A quote by an English author, A. Mine: "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." The young entrants uphold the always confidence and be strong to achieve all your goals. The legal profession is an honorable profession, and the advocate plays an integral part of the administration of justice. Since the new entrants have stepped in the array of privileged community, in the new entrants shall uphold the dignity and decorum of the profession by strictly adhering the norms, duties, and the rules cast upon the advocate as per the provision laid down in the Advocate Acts 1961 and the Bar Council of India rules. In the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, the more than 135,000 advocates have been enrolled, and nearly 85,000 advocates are actively practicing, and the new entrants also joining with them. We are also providing several welfare measures to the advocates and their family members. We are providing the death benefits of rupees 10 lakhs with the head of the government of Tamil Nadu. By the initiative of the Bar Council, the government is providing the monthly stipend of rupees 3,000 to the newly enrolled advocate for 2 years. The Bar Council is conducting the coaching classes in the Bar Council premises for the district judge, civil judge, and the ABB examination, and several judicial aspirants are benefited through the same. Moreover, the Bar Council has digitalized entire records and providing online facility for the practicing advocates all over the state of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry for their easy access. Today we are enrolling nearly 1,200 law graduates. I hope all of them will work hard to achieve a greater heights in the field of law by following the guidance to be given by the Honorable Chief Justice and other dignitaries present here. I wish all the law graduates who are going to enroll today for your great success. Once again, I welcome all to the great occasion function. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Chairman, for your welcome speech. We are deeply gratitude for the opportunity to invite our Honorable Chief Justice, whose exemplary leadership and vision have significantly contributing to the advancement of the justice. Now I request Honorable Chief Justice of Chartered Madras High Court, to administer the Law Day oath. Kindly each and everyone rise to take the oath. Kindly please seated. Be seated. Now I request Mr. Jahir Hussain, Advocate, to move the enrollment.
Good evening to all. First of all, I thank Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman, and Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, and members of the Enrollment Committee and other members of the Bar Council for providing this opportunity to me. At this auspicious occasion, on behalf of all the advocates, I move the enrollment of all the candidates present here. I wish you all the success and prosperity in their future. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the administration of oath for the enrollment will be done by our Chairman of Enrollment Committee, Mr. K. Balu. When he administers the oath, all the persons, those who are going to get enrolled, please rise and have the booklet which has been given to you. And now we are enrolling 1,200 young budding people who have graduated from the various law schools, 758 male students and 442 female students. I wish you all success. Kindly rise, please.
Lord, may I proceed, Lord? When I say I, you have to mention your name, then repeat. I do solemnly swear that I shall, in accordance with the rules of professional conduct and etiquette as prescribed by the Bar Council of India and State Bar Council from time to time and as reflected in this noble profession, including ethical duties and moral values. Congratulations to all. Please be seated.
Including ethical duties, moral values. Congratulations.
இந்த ரம்மியமான மாலை வேளையில் தமிழ்நாடு புதுச்சேரி பார் கவுன்சிலில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்திருக்கக்கூடிய உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எங்களது மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்துக்களை, பாராட்டுக்களை உங்களுக்கு தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். உங்கள் எதிர்காலம் சிறப்பாக அமைய வேண்டுமாய் உங்களை அன்போடு இந்த நேரத்திலே வாழ்த்துகின்றோம். இன்று வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்திருக்கக்கூடிய நீங்கள் சிறப்புக்குரியவர்கள், அதிர்ஷ்டசாலிகள். தேசிய சட்ட தினத்தில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்யக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கிறீர்கள். அதோடு இன்னொரு சிறப்பு, இன்றைக்கு நம்மிடத்தில் தேசிய சட்டத்தினுடைய உறுதிமொழியை வழங்கி சிறப்புரை ஆற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய மரியாதைக்குரிய சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய தலைமை நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் அவர் முன்பாக வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்யக்கூடிய ஒரு நல்ல வாய்ப்பை நீங்கள் பெற்றிருக்கிறீர்கள். இன்னொரு சிறப்பு, சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இருந்தவர்களில் நம் தாய்மொழி தெரிந்த முதல் தலைமை நீதிபதி என்ற சிறப்பை பெற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் முன்னால் நீங்கள் எல்லாம் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்திருப்பது பெருமைக்குரியது. புரட்சி கவிஞர் பாரதியை போன்று முறுக்கு மீசையோடு நம்மிடத்திலே அமர்ந்திருக்கிறார். சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய நீதி பரிபாலனத்தை சிறப்போடு அவர் நடத்துவார் என்ற நம்பிக்கை நமக்கெல்லாம் இருக்கிறது. நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் அடுத்த ஆண்டு செப்டம்பர் வரை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இருக்கக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பை பெற்றிருக்கிறார். அதன் மூலமாக முழுமையாக அவர் நமது உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தில் தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இருக்க வேண்டும் என்ற ஆசை நமக்கு இருக்கிறது. இன்னொரு ஆசையும் இருக்கிறது. நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் உச்சநீதிமன்றத்தில் சென்று அமர வேண்டும். அதுவும் அவருடைய நீதித்துறை பரிபாலனத்தில் நிச்சயமாக நடக்கும் என்ற நம்பிக்கை எனக்கு முழுமையாக இருக்கிறது. அருமை சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, சிறப்புக்குரிய இந்த நீதித்துறையில் உங்களை எல்லாம் இன்று இணைத்திருக்கிறீர்கள். உங்களுடைய எதிர்காலம் சிறப்பாக இருக்க வேண்டும். உங்களுக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய கடமைகளை, பொறுப்புகளை, இந்த சமூகத்தின் மீது உங்களுக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய அக்கறையை நீதித்துறையில் சட்டத்தின் மூலமாக நீதியை பெற காத்திருக்கும் மக்களுக்கு நீங்கள் நல்ல சேவையை நீதித்துறையில் ஆற்ற வேண்டுமாய் உங்களை அன்போடு இந்த நேரத்திலே கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். இன்னொரு சிறப்பை நமது தலைமை நீதிபதி அவர்கள் பெற இருக்கிறார்கள். அவர் தலைமை நீதிபதியாக இருக்கக்கூடிய காலத்தில்தான் சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தில் 15க்கு மேற்பட்ட நீதிபதிகளை நியமனம் செய்வதற்கான பரிந்துரை செய்யக்கூடிய அற்புதமான வாய்ப்பை நமது பெருமைக்குரிய தலைமை நீதிபதி அவர்கள் பெற்றிருக்கிறார். இந்த இனிய வேளையில் எனது அன்பான வேண்டுகோளை தலைமை நீதிபதி அவர்களுக்கு தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வது என்னவென்று சொன்னால், இந்த தமிழகம் என்பது சமூக நீதியினுடைய மண். நீங்கள் நீதிபதியாக பரிந்துரை செய்கின்ற பொழுது அனைத்து பிரிவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய தரமான, தகுதியான, நேர்மையான வழக்கறிஞர்களை கண்டறிந்து சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்திற்கு தலைமை வழக்கறிஞராக நீங்கள் பரிந்துரை செய்தால் சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தினுடைய வரலாற்றில் என்றைக்கும் உங்கள் பெயர் பொன்னெழுத்துக்களால் பொறிக்கப்படும் என்று இந்த நேரத்தில் அன்போடு தெரிவித்து மீண்டும் உங்களுக்கு என்னுடைய அன்பான வாழ்த்துக்களை, பாராட்டுக்களை தெரிவித்து நீதியரசர் அவர்களுக்கும் மேடையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய நீதித்துறையினுடைய சிறப்புக்குரியவர்களுக்கும் எனது அன்பார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, sir, for your wishes. Now I request Honorable Chief Justice to administer laudai oath.
நீதித்துறையினுடைய சிறப்புக்குரியவர்களுக்கும் எனது அன்பார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
take oath and hereby pledge that I shall, at all times, abide by the Constitution, respect its ideals and institutions, and uphold the human rights of all my fellow beings. Recognizing that rule of law is the foundation of our constitutional system, I shall forever renounce the use of violence, bribery, and corruption, appeal to religious passions, and promotions of religious and ethnic hatred. I shall ceaselessly promote harmony and the spirit of brotherhood, uphold the dignity and equality of men and women, and to the limit of my economic capacity, provide help to the disabled and deprived. I have resolved that as an individual, either citizen or resident, I shall not compromise with terrorism and bravely fight it with all my resources until it is wholly exterminated and world order and peace are fully restored. My contempt for terrorists extends to their collaborators and groups or governments that finance them, harbor them, or in any manner abet their evil designs. I shall fearlessly expose wreckers of the Constitution and breakers of the law, refuse to lend them respectability or prestige, insist on vigorous and impartial enforcement of law against even the high and mighty, and strive to promote justice, social, economic, and political.
We thank your Lordship for administering the vote. Now we request our Advocate General, State of Tamil Nadu, Mr. P.S. Raman, to felicitate the newly enrolled advocates. Sir, please.
We request Advocate General, State of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Raman, newly enrolled advocate.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். My Lord, the Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, Justice Sri Ram, dignitaries on the days and off the days, brothers and sisters of the legal profession
Lord,
present here, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. It's with great pleasure that I am here before you all to felicitate 1,200 young budding minds which have now joined the profession which we all admire, cherish and love. As the Advocate General and the ostensible leader of the bar, it is my duty on behalf of all the bar members to extend to you all this warm welcome. as the speakers earlier mentioned, all you children are twice blessed for your taking on your enrollment on Law Day, which is the 26th of November of every year, and also you are doing it in the presence of my Lord the Chief Justice. The latter is particularly interesting because all of you should know that till 1962, the enrollment function of all lawyers was actually done in the first court of the Madras High Court before the Chief Justice of Madras. The law students would have completed their 1 year of clerkship, and the advocate under whom they did their clerkship had to get the Chief Justice's permission and move the enrollment before the division bench or a full bench, whichever bench was sitting that day. Today, that practice is no longer there, and rightly, I don't see 1,200 people fitting in the first court. But you have all had the pleasure of doing it in the presence of the Chief Justice, so you are all, that's why I said twice blessed.
Thank you.
I was right glad to learn that of the 1,200 or 1,100 and all of you, there are almost 500 women who are enrolled. That's a really heartening thing, because finally gender equalization in our profession is becoming a reality. To forever renounce violence and corruption, you've all read it out along with the Honorable Chief Justice. Let it be imbibed in your heart forever. Let it not just be some statements which are being made or words loosely thrown. The reason I say this with all sincerity and seriousness is because all you people here should realize that there are only two professions in the world where an oath is taken as a professional. Forget public offices where oath of secrecy is taken for ministers and elected representatives of parliament and assembly. Profession-wise, only doctors and lawyers have a oath. The doctors take the Hippocratic oath, and you all take the oath on the Constitution as by law established. That's because, like the doctors, you all also serve a larger public purpose in your professions. I would encourage you all to continuously keep reading and learning. In fact, I may very well say that today, the first day of your school has begun, because you are going to forever constantly keep updating your knowledge. Law is not static but dynamic, and even in the last 4 or 5 years, as I see it, I'm 64 years old, but I see that in the last 4 or 5 years, such dynamic changes have taken place in laws. You all have the advantage of getting into the profession at a time when some of the cutting edge things in law are taking place. So people who are much senior to you are not going to have an edge over you, because they are also going to have the same experience on those lines, like IBC code and things like that. So keep studying, keep learning, work hard, and I can assure you all that this is possibly one of the most gratifying professions one can ever strive to do. And if you are successful in that, you are going to have a great, great life. And I wish you all the very, very best. Thank you.
Our beloved brother, Advocate General and Senior Advocate, is always stylish and charming. Your speech was more cherishable and admirable. Thank you, sir. And now I request our Vice Chairman of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. Velu Karthikeyan, to felicitate the new entrants.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். எப்பொழுதுமே தமிழ்நாட்டின் தலைமை நீதிபதி வரும் பொழுது நாங்கள் ஆங்கிலத்தில் தான் பேசுவோம். ஆனால் இந்த முறை அண்ணன் பாலு அவர்கள் சொன்னது போல் தமிழ் தெரிந்த முதல் தலைமை நீதிபதி இருக்கும் பொழுது இதை தமிழிலே உரையாற்றுவதே மிகச் சிறந்தது என்று நான் கருதுகிறேன். அண்ணன் சொல்லும்போது சொன்னார், அந்த முறுக்கு மீசை பாரதியின் மீசை என்று. பாரதியின் மீசை நாம் பார்த்தப்ப கருப்பாக இருக்கும். இந்த தமிழ் தெரிந்த பாரதி இவர் சட்டம் தெரிந்த பாரதியாகத்தான் இன்று அந்த வெள்ளை மீசையோடு காணுகின்றார். எப்பயுமே நான் பாரதியோட கவிதை சொல்லி வாழ்த்துவதான், அதை சொல்லி தொடங்குவதே சால சிறந்தது. தேடி சோறு தினம் தின்று பல சின்ன சிறுகதைகள் பேசி மனம் வாடி துன்பமுக விழன்று பிறர் வாட பல செயல்கள் செய்து நரைகூடி கிளப்பருவம் எய்தி கொடுங்கோற்று கிரையனப்பின் மாயும் பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரை போல் நான் வீழ்வேன் என்று நினைத்தாயோ என்ற பாரதியின் வாக்குக்கு இணங்க பிறந்தோம் வளர்ந்தோம் படித்தோம் என்றில்லாமல் சட்டத் தொழிலை தேர்ந்தெடுத்து இன்று வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்த உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் தமிழ்நாடு பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பாக வாழ்த்துக்களையும் நன்றிகளையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். முதலிலே இங்கே 2 நிகழ்ச்சி. ஒன்று, தலைமை நீதிபதி அவர்களுக்கு தமிழ்நாடு பார் கவுன்சில் சார்பாக பாராட்டு. இன்னொன்று என்ரோல்மெண்ட் நிகழ்ச்சி. அதுவும் கான்ஸ்டியூஷனல் டேல உங்களுக்கு அந்த டேவும் நீங்கள் சேர்த்து கொண்டாடக்கூடிய ஒரு வாய்ப்பு. கிட்டத்தட்ட இது ஒரு 3 விழா, 30 விழா போல தான் இன்று. முதலிலே தலைமை நீதியரசரை நாங்கள் சந்தித்த பொழுது பலத்த ஐயத்தோடு, பிறந்தது பழைய மெட்ராஸ் பிரசிடென்சி என்று அழைக்கப்படுகின்ற கல்பாத்தி என்ற கிராமத்தில் இருந்தால் கூட நம்மிடம் எப்படி பழகுவார் என்று தயக்கத்தோடு தான் நாங்கள் சென்று பார்த்தோம். ஆனால் நாங்கள் பார்த்த இந்த 3-4 முறை தான், அவர் வந்தே 1 மாதம் தான் ஆகிறது, ஒரு தாயுள்ளத்தோடு 2-3 நிகழ்ச்சி நீங்கள் எல்லாம் பார்த்திருப்பீர்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் நடந்த வழக்கறிஞர்களுக்கு எதிரான சில விஷயங்களில். அப்பொழுது நாங்கள் சென்று முறையிட்ட போது ஒரு தாயுள்ளத்தோடு இதற்கு என்ன முறை கண்டால் இது உடனடியாக தீர்வு காணும் என்று எங்களை அன்போடு அழைத்து அதற்கான பிரச்சனையை தீர்வு காண்பதற்கான வழிகளை சொல்லி, உண்மையிலேயே சொல்கின்றேன், நான் பார்த்த நீதியரசர்களிலே பலர் சிறந்தவராக இருந்தவரை இது போன்ற ஒரு தலைமை நீதியரசரை என் வாழ்நாளில் பார்க்கவில்லை என்றுதான் நான் சொல்கின்றேன். இவருடைய காலம் பொற்காலம் மட்டுமல்ல, வழக்கறிஞர்களுக்கான வசந்த காலமும் இதாகத்தான் இருக்கும். இங்கே கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய நீதியரசர், எனது குருநாதர் நீதியரசர் சதீஷ்குமார் அவர்களே, நீதியரசர் தண்டபாணி அவர்களே, முன்னாள் நீதியரசர், மக்களின் நீதிபதி என்பதை விட வழக்கறிஞர்களின் நீதிபதி என்று கொண்டாடப்படுகின்ற ஐயா KN பாட்சா அவர்களே, இவருடைய பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய தலைவர், இந்தியாவில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பார் கவுன்சிலில் இளம் வயது தலைவராக இருக்கக்கூடிய அமல்ராஜ் அவர்களே, அகில இந்திய பார் கவுன்சிலில் இன்று துணைத் தலைவராக எங்களால் அன்போடு கேப்டன் என்று அழைக்கப்படுகின்ற அருமையண்ணன் பிரபாகரன் அவர்களே, எங்களுக்கு முன்னால் வாழ்த்தி சென்றிருக்கக்கூடிய ஆட்களே, உறுப்பினர் சரவணன் அவர்களே, எங்களுடைய பார் கவுன்சிலில் 25 பேர் இருக்கிறோம். அதில் கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 35 வருடங்களுக்கு பிறகு ஒரே ஒரு பெண் உறுப்பினராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ள சகோதரி பிரிசிலா பாண்டியன் அவர்களே, எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் சேர்மன். இங்கே வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய வழக்கறிஞர், உங்களுக்காக என்ரோல் மூவ் செய்த ஜாகிர் ஹுசைன் அவர்களே, எங்களுடைய பார் கவுன்சிலுடைய உறுப்பினர்கள் தாலை முத்தரசு அவர்களே, அருமை சகோதரர் வேல்முருகன் அவர்களே, உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் என்னுடைய வாழ்த்துக்களையும் பாராட்டுகளையும் தெரிவித்து, இன்று கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் டே, நான் ஒன்றே ஒன்று மட்டும் சொல்லி விடைபெற ஆசைப்படுகின்றேன். கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் டே ஏன் தமிழ்நாட்டில் சென்னையில் நம்ம கொண்டாடுறதுக்கு இதை பெருமைப்படுகிறோம் என்றால், BR அம்பேத்கர் தலைமையில் அந்த அமைக்கப்பட்ட குழுவில் 7 பேர் இருந்தாங்க. BR அம்பேத்கர், முன்சி, முகமது சதையுல்லா, அல்லாடி கிருஷ்ணசாமி ஐயர், கோபால்சாமி ஐயங்கார், TT கிருஷ்ணமாச்சாரி, மாதவராவ். இதில் கிருஷ்ணமாச்சாரி மாதவராவும் ஒரு ஆஃப்ல வந்து ஜாயின் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. இந்த 7 பேரில் நான் பார்த்த பொழுது மாதவராவ், கோபால்சாமி ஐயங்கார் அண்ட் அல்லாடி கிருஷ்ணசாமி ஐயர், இந்த 3 பேருமே சென்னை சட்டக்கல்லூரியில் சட்டம் பயின்றவர்கள். அந்த TT கிருஷ்ணமாச்சாரியும் சென்னை கல்லூரியில் கலைக்கல்லூரியில் படித்தவர். ஆக 7 பேர் கொண்ட குழுவில் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்களால் இந்த டிராப் குழு அமைக்கப்பட்டதிலே 4 பேர் மெட்ராஸ் பிரசிடென்சி என்று அழைக்கக்கூடிய சென்னை மாகாணத்தைச் சேர்ந்தவர்கள். அதிலும் குறிப்பாக 3 பேர் சென்னை சட்டக்கல்லூரியிலே பயின்றவர்கள். இந்த அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தை கொண்டாடுவதில் நாம் முழு பங்கு பெறுவதில் மிகவும் ஒரு பெருமகிழ்ச்சியே என்று சொல்லி இதை மூலம் நான் சொல்லுகின்றேன். அடுத்ததாக நான் பார்க்கும்பொழுது யோசித்தேன், 46 அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தை நேற்றுவதற்கு டிசம்பர் 9ஆம் தேதி கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் என்ற அரசியலமைப்பு கூட்டம் கூடிய பிறகு, 47 சுதந்திர தினம் பெற்ற பிறகு, ஏன் 49 நவம்பர் 26 வரை காலதாமதம் என்று பார்த்த பொழுதுதான் அங்கேயும் ஒரு தமிழ்நாட்டைச் சேர்ந்தவருடைய பங்கு என்னவென்றால், இந்த கான்ஸ்டியூஷனை எதில் எழுத வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு நிலை வந்த பொழுது 2 நிலையாக முதலிலே பிரிந்திருக்கிறது அந்த பாராளுமன்ற குழுவிலே. தூய ஹிந்தி ஆர் இந்துஸ்தானி ஹிந்தி. இந்துஸ்தானி ஹிந்தி என்றால் உருது கலந்தது, தூய ஹிந்தி என்றால் சமஸ்கிருதம் கலந்தது. இந்த இரண்டு இதில் எதில் எழுத வேண்டும் என்று சொல்லி ஒரு பிரச்சனை வருகின்ற பொழுது அங்கே அந்த எந்த பாராளுமன்றத்தில் கூடிய உறுப்பினர்கள் இரண்டாக பிரிகின்ற பொழுது தென்னிந்தியாவைச் சேர்ந்த கேரளா, மெட்ராஸ், ஆந்திரா, தமிழ்நாடு உட்பட்ட நம்முடைய மெட்ராஸ் பிரசிடென்சி உறுப்பினர்களும் பாராளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களும் வங்காளத்தைச் சேர்ந்த பாராளுமன்ற உறுப்பினர்களும் இந்த நிலையிலே ஆங்கிலத்தை சேர்க்க வேண்டும் என்ற ஒரு போராட்ட நிலையை எடுக்கிறார்கள். இதனால் ஒரு 6 மாதம் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்களால் எந்த செயலும் செய்ய முடியவில்லை. அதன் பிறகு இந்த மெம்பர் சொன்ன பாருங்க, இந்த கமிட்டியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய திரு கோபால்சாமி ஐயங்கார் அவர்களும் திரு கே முன்சி அவர்களும் ஒரு உடன்படிக்கை, நீங்கள் கூகுளில் ஃப்ரீயாக இருக்க பார்க்கலாம், கோபால்சாமி ஐயங்கார் முன்சி உடன்படிக்கை டேபிள், இவர்கள் இருவரும் சேர்ந்து பேசி ஆங்கிலத்தை முதல் 15 வருடத்தில் கண்டிப்பாக கொண்டு வர வேண்டும் என்ற முடிவை எடுத்து பாராளுமன்றத்திலே நவம்பர் 26 கொண்டு வருவதற்கு காரணமாக இருந்தது அந்த கோபால்சாமி ஐயாரும் முன்சி உடன்படிக்கை என்பதிலும், அந்த கோபால்சாமி ஐயங்கார் நம்முடைய தமிழ்நாட்டைச் சேர்ந்தவர் என்பதையும் சென்னை சட்டக்கல்லூரியில் சேர்ந்தவர் என்பதையும் இந்த நேரத்தில் நான் பதிவு செய்ய ஆசைப்பட்டு, இந்த தினத்தில் உங்களுக்கு எப்பயுமே நான் சொல்வேன் உங்களுடைய பர்த்டே அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவேன். ஆனால் இன்னைக்கு கான்ஸ்டியூன்சி டே அன்னைக்கு உங்களுக்கு பிறந்தநாள் அமைந்ததில் உங்களுக்கு என்னுடைய மனதார வாழ்த்துக்களை கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, for your felicitation. Now I request our government pleader, Mr. Edwin Prabhakaran, Madras High Court, for felicitating the new enrolled advocates. So please.
My Lord, Honorable Justice K.R. Sriram, Chief Justice of Madras High Court, Honorable Justice N. Satish Kumar, Honorable Justice M. Dandabani, Honorable Justice K.N. Basha, Judges of Honorable High Court, past and present, Mr. P.S. Raman, Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman, Mr. S. Ravi, Senior Advocate, Mr. K. Balu, Chairman of Enrollment Committee, Mrs. J. Priscilla Pandian, Member, Enrollment Committee, Mr. D. Saravanan, and Mr. Thalai Murasu, Mr. Vel Murugan, Members of the Bar Council, Mr. Jagir Hussain, Advocate, other esteemed members of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, my fellow brother and sister lawyers, parents, relatives, and friends who have come to grace the occasion, and last but not the least, my fellow young lawyers who got enrolled today. அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். There could not be a better day than today to have yourselves enrolled as advocates, as it marks the day the Constitution was adopted. Each and every one of you who got enrolled today is indeed privileged to have done so. On all of your behalf, I would like to thank the Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. P.S. Amalraj, and other esteemed members of the Bar Council who have chosen this day for the enrollment of these young advocates. And it is indeed an honor and privilege that we have our Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. K.R. Sriram, to preside over this function as a chief guest in this enrollment function. If I may recall, little before 2 months before His Lordship took charge, most of us had our usual anxiety about how our new Chief Justice would be. But now, much to our pleasant surprise, we found His Lordship to be cordial and gentle with the members of the bar, firm in upholding law and justice, and tough when there is a violation of any orders of the court. In the past 2 months, being in the court of Honorable Chief Justice has given us immense excitement and learning experience watching His Lordship's pointed questions and occasional googlies. His Lordship is highly practical and a compassionate judge, known for being open-minded and encouraging others to propose solutions which attentively considering their views. I'm indeed deeply honored and grateful for the opportunity to sit in the first court every day, observing and understanding the proceedings of the dispensation of justice by His Lordship. All of you have a great opportunity to learn the ethos of this profession from the honorable judges of this honorable court. Having enrolled today, all of you are empowered to plead and fight for justice before a court of law. I strongly urge each and every one of you to be a champion of social justice and a warrior of protection of life and liberty for your fellow citizens. You have been entrusted with the noble responsibility for being the voice of the voiceless. For those who wonder about the secret of becoming a lawyer, successful lawyer, let me give you one simple yet profound principle to remember and uphold every time you walk through the doors of a court hall. Speak the truth and be trustworthy. For you owe a duty to the court, to your client, and to your own conscience. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have also come together to celebrate and recognize the greatness of our Constitution. This is an occasion to recognize and honor the extraordinary efforts of the members of the Constituent Assembly, led by the visionary Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Through their tireless work and profound wisdom, they gifted us a remarkable document, our Constitution, a living embodiment of democracy, equality, and justice. And at this juncture, we'll be failing in our duty if we fail to recognize the contributions made by our constitutional courts towards the march of law through several landmark judgments which helped shape the very contours of our constitutional framework. And we are truly blessed to walk the same corridors the great judges and the doyens of the esteemed bar with their legal acumen and intellectual prowess have played pivotal role in advancing the principles of constitutional law and justice. As we celebrate this day, let us renew our commitment to uphold the values enshrined in the Constitution and to work to ensure its promises of equality, liberty, and justice for all. As young lawyers, now there is a question that arises on this Constitution Day. Should the Constitution remain a static and rigid document, or should it evolve as a dynamic force that meets the challenges of the needs of the and progress of the society? Emphasizing the dynamic nature of the Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, I quote, "The Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It is a vehicle of life, and the spirit is always the spirit of the age," unquote. As human beings living as a society, we are never static. We constantly change and evolve with the passage of time. Should a constitution which owes its existence to the people, should it remain rigid and unchanging, or should it adapt and evolve to meet the changing needs of the society it serves? In my humble view, the answer lies somewhere in between, and it is striking a balance. The principles enshrined in the preamble being rigid and firm, that provides a strong foundation and keeps us upright like the bones in our body. At the same time, certain parts of the Constitution must have the ability to evolve with the times, flexing and stretching with play between the joints as our muscles, skin, and bones in a human body, allowing movement, flexibility, and adaptability to remain relevant and alive. It is a living document that promotes equality and social justice while safeguarding the right to life, liberty, and unity and integrity of our nation, with unique ability to adapt to the evolving needs of the society, while remaining steadfast in upholding the essential principles of democracy, justice, and equality. In essence, Constitution is the body in which soul of our nation lives. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening felicitation speech. Now I request Mr. S. Ravi, Senior Advocate, to felicitate the young advocates.
Honorable Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, Justice Sriram, Mr. P.S. Raman, Advocate General of the Government of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Amal Raj, Chairman of Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman of the BCI, other honorable members of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, Justice Satish Kumar and Justice Dandapani, and Justice Basha, and my newly enrolled learned brothers and sisters. As you all know, this is the day on which the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution of India. Quite interestingly, Article 1 is very relevant. It starts with the following words: India, that is Bharat, shall be a union of states. I'm wondering why they should use the word India, that is Bharat. They could have simply said India is a union of states. There is a lot of meaning hidden into it. In fact, the Constitution recognizes the fact that we as a nation existed much before the British came and geographically united this country. I quote from Vishnu Purana the following sloka: Uttaram yat samudrasya himadraischava dakshinam varsham tad bharatam nama bharati yatra santati. Translated, it means the country that lies north of the ocean and south of the Himalaya is called Bharata. There dwell the descendants of Bharata. It is to recognize this concept of Bharata, or Article 1 of the Constitution starts with the word India, that is Bharat. Recognizing the fact that even before the geographical limits of this country was demarcated by the British, there existed a nation called Bharata from time immemorial. Though ruled by different kings and kingdoms, there was cultural unity, and this is the basis on which all the ancient treatises treat this country as a singular entity called Bharat. That is why Sri Adi Shankara was able to establish mutts in 4 different parts of the country, and that is why Gaya and Kanchi were centers of learning for Buddhism. The Constitution, as it evolved, the scope of Article 21 was expanded. Indira Shahani's case, where the principles of social justice and reservation for backward classes were approved, and the recent Puttaswamy's case, which dealt with privacy. The judiciary has proved that the Constitution is not a static document, but a vibrant document which can be shaped and reshaped to meet the requirements of the changing times, even while preserving its fundamentals intact. While there may be some criticism that the judiciary has assumed a role far beyond what was envisaged by the framers of the Constitution, such of those who have witnessed the emasculation of the judiciary during the horrific days of the emergency would vouch for the fact that an active and vibrant judiciary is far better than a judiciary which is subservient to the executive. While remembering the path-breaking judgments rendered by the judiciary, we should also remember the ADM Jabalpur judgment, which in my opinion was the lowest point of the Indian judiciary. Today, on this solemn occasion, we are welcoming our new members of the bar, and as the learned Advocate General put it, you are privileged to be enrolled as advocates on the Constitution Day, and that too in the august presence of the Honorable Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. While welcoming the new members of the bar, I like to recollect the immortal words of Baron Wenlock, the Governor of Madras, on 12th July 1892, when he handed over the key of the newly constructed court building. The Governor concluded with the words, I quote, "And now, my Lord the Chief Justice, I have a pleasure in handing you the key as a token that the building has been entrusted to your hands by the government, in full confidence that the administration of justice will be carried on with the ability and integrity that has always marked the Madras High Court. To you, my Lord, and to the other gentlemen who hold with you the high position of judges of the High Court, and to those gentlemen who occupy themselves in the honorable and learned profession of law, in all your hands, the administration of justice may be safely left, and we may look forward for many years to come with the full knowledge and full satisfaction that the best years of your lives will be devoted to carrying on one of the noblest of works, the uninterrupted administration of justice, unquote. The key was received by His Lordship the Chief Justice Arthur Collins, who said in solemn gravity, I quote, I fervently hope that long after you and I, Your Excellency, have passed away to that undiscovered country of which we know so little, there may also continue to be found men of ability and courage who will administer the law in these courts without distinction of class, creed, or race, unquote. Generation of judges and lawyers who have since succeeded have fulfilled in not unworthy measure the fond hope the Chief Justice Sir Arthur Collins expressed in this speech way back in 1862. I am sure that all of you who have been enrolled today would become men of ability and courage and administer justice, both as advocates and as future judges also, and devote the best years of your lives to carrying on one of the noblest of works, the uninterrupted administration of justice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I extend my invitation to our captain of the ship, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India. Your speech will undoubtedly enrich the understanding of the nuances of the profession to the young budding lawyers.
The Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. P.S. Raman, my esteemed friend, Mr. P.S. Amalra, Chairman of this Council, Mr. Karthikeyan, Mr. Balu, Executive Chairman Priscilla Pandian, my friend Mr. Ravi, Senior Advocate, Mohan Krishnan, and Thalimuttarasu, Mr. Velmurugan, the Honorable Justice, Mr. K.N. Baisha, Honorable Mr. Justice Satish Kumar, Honorable Mr. Justice Dandabani, Mr. Government Pleader, Mr. Edwin Prabhakar, ladies and gentlemen, today is a special day for us at the Bar Council for the two reasons. One, we have gathered here to celebrate the true essence of democracy, that is, the Constitution as a national law day. And two, we all have got the opportunity to welcome our beloved Chief Justice. The 34th Chief Justice of Madras High Court, Honorable Mr. Justice Kalpati Rajendran Sriram, to this renowned Bar of Madras. 2 months back, I met the Honorable Justice Sriram there in Pune while we are had one program by the Bar Council of India. There, Chief Justice has spoken. Then thereafter I said, sir, you are coming to my state, I said. Amma sollunga neenga da onnu vara solla maatendringale. Then I was shocked. Then said, can you speak Tamil? I am Tamil only, I said. So that time itself, sir, please come. Don't take much time, he said. So another highlight today, even for the young minds sitting in front of me, who has just got baptized into this legal profession at the presence of the Honorable Chief Justice of Madras High Court, I must say, you people are the lucky lot, because you all have got the opportunity to get enrolled into the profession in the presence of the Honorable Chief as a lawyer. I take this opportunity to felicitate our Honorable Chief Justice. His Lordship's appointment to this Chartered High Court as the Chief Justice represents a new chapter for this esteemed institution, which has rich history as one of India's oldest high courts. His Lordship's career as an example for my young friends. His Lordship's legal excellence, dedications, and forward-looking approach to justice, a testament to His Lordship's vast legal acumen and hard work. His Lordship, as a judge of the Bombay High Court, has presided over critical cases and demonstrated his sharp legal acumen, humbleness, and the ability to address the complex issues. His Lordship has taken an oath as the Chief Justice of this great Chartered High Court as a pivotal role and time as the judiciary continues to uphold the constitutional values while navigating the challenges in delivering the timely and fair justice. As members of the bar, we pledge our collective commitment to justice, fairness, and the rule of law, supporting our lordships in all the endeavor, bringing the glory to this Chartered High Court. I must say, His Lordship has always stood with the bar in tough times and has come in its rescue. This shows His Lordship's support to the bar. Even in the recent incident's attack upon a lawyer, His Lordship has immediately assessed the situation and took up the writ filed by the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu. Immediately considering the welfare of the members of the bar, His Lordship's swift action is paving the way for protecting the legal fraternity and this institution. With His Lordship's guidance, we hope that the Honorable Court would reach to its new heights. My dear friends, you all very, very fortunate as you have got the enrolled on a special duty and the day today, when we adopted our constitution, the fundamental piece which runs to the huge democracy in the country. This national social structure is based on this book where rights and duties citizens provided with reflecting the administration of the country. Our constitution is a moment, pride and reflection. Today, the Honorable Justice Dandamani also put a question to me today. How many lawyers are enrolling? I said, sir, today is 1,200 and odd. So every time several thousands of lawyers are enrolling, please close the law colleges. I said, the law college as far as in Tamil Nadu is concerned only 50. 58 I think, at most. 50 and 58, inclusive of the government law college itself. Nowadays the government law colleges started all districts also, and they are admitting even each section nearly 300 students they admit. What I have been trying to say, everybody minds, they are thinking that day by day the field of law, members of the bar accumulating, and the many members of the bar are enrolling throughout the country, not only in Tamil Nadu, in many member places. When I went to Delhi, that time only the 21 lakh or 22 lawyers in the country. Now it reaches nearly 30 lakhs. Whereas we have population 140 crores. Even in Tamil Nadu, nearly 8 crores population. Out of 8 crore population, the Amalraj said that we have only 1,35,000 lawyers. Even out of 1,35,000 of lawyers, only 80,000 lawyers are enrolling, practicing, active practice. Particularly in young members, the women lawyers, you are enrolling and subsequently, quite some time later, you are disappearing in the profession. I do not know the reasons. Many of them I have seen. In this situation, we have to promote, and then particularly many members of the bar, national law schools, and then School of Excellency, and then many the colleges, deemed universities, people are going for corporate work, not in the field of court practice. So this is the reason, even every members, at least per year, the past 2 years, nearly 8,000 to 10,000 lawyers were enrolling. So therefore, I say the honorable judges of the Madras High Court repeatedly, once it is my duty to bring it to the notice of the judges. It is not that we are not even reached the off percent. If off percent also, it will come 4 lakhs. We are not at reach. In fact, we are all assembled in one place. The members of the bar, either district court or subordinate court, everywhere, we are assembled in one place. Therefore, the crowd will see that the many number of lawyers has come. It is not so. There is a demand in many fields. We did not get the good lawyers in certain fields. In company law board, only repeated members of the bar as appearing. So in these circumstances, I am encouraged, I say that please kindly come up to the practice and do whatever you read first. Go and join any good lawyers, good seniors, and get your trained very nicely, and then you should all come to the field of law. These 2 characters of elements, the democracy and federalism, secularism and socialism, it safeguards the fundamental rights. Every citizen, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, gender, or economic status. The Ambedkar has really said, I quote, the Constitution is not a mere lawyer's document. It's a vehicle of life, and it's spirit of always, spirit of age. So keep in your mind, and the members of the bar should actively, everyone should have the foundation, that means training properly. Bar Council of India, time to time, we are framing the guidelines. Whether our guidelines to going to reach the members of the bar, it's difficult one. I do not know. There are in many places, many attacks have been made. In many places throughout the country, there are a lot of issues. Some issues are very genuine. When I addressed before the first court, the Honorable Chief Justice also questioned certain issues. But I said, sir, the members of the bar facing the real problem, those who are enrolled lawyers, practicing, discharging their profession duty, lot of struggles, not one, not even, we cannot express. Such a time, your people, I am requesting, because today the 1,200 lawyers you enrolled, what am I requesting you? Please kindly don't show the very much full counsels. There is no issue at all. But at the same time, some of the members of the bar, I feel the recent past 4 or 5 years, I'm watching. Many people's enrollment has been made, immediately joining one association. On the 3rd day, they started for either the president or vice president or something. It's not correct. We all came after 11 years, discharging the profession duty. Then only we diverted our concentration to only the field of the Bar Council and associations activities. So I am requesting, please kindly, particularly lady members and all the members, junior members, most of the junior young minds of the bar, today you have enrolled, you joined in our team. So therefore, I am requesting you, please kindly read the papers every day and judgments, and go and attend each and every courts, and please, you can understand, it will take some time. It will take some time to read minds of the court also. If you go and sit on the Honorable Justice Dhanabadi's court, sometimes he will shout, but there is a meaning. If our judges are shouting the members of the bar, then you should understand you have committed certain mistake. That mistakes has to be rectified immediately. Thank you very much. Thank you.
புயல் வெளியதான் பார்த்தா உள்ளேயும் இருக்கு. Thank you, sir. I extend my invitation to our Honorable Chief Justice. Now the time to felicitate the. Now I invite our Honorable Mr. Justice K. N. Basha to felicitate the young budding lawyers.
எங்கள் வாழ்வும் எங்கள் வளமும் மங்காத தமிழென்று சங்கே முழங்கு. எல்லா புகழும் வல்ல இறைவன் ஒருவனுக்கே. இந்த இனிய நாளில், பொன்னான நாளில் இங்கே வீற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய என்றென்றும் என் பேரன்புக்கு பெருமிதற்கு உரிய தமிழகத்தினுடைய நீதித்துறையின் டைனமிக் லீடர் ஆஃப் தமிழ்நாடு ஜுடிஷியரி, ஆனரபிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ஸ்ரீராம். Ever dynamic chairman of this wonderful Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, Mr. P.S. Amalraj. Mr. T. Jahir Hussain, who has moved enrollment today. எனது அன்பு தம்பி, எனது அலுவலகத்திலே பணியாற்றக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பினை பெற்றவர், என்னுடைய நெருங்கிய தோழர், மூத்த வழக்கறிஞர் அனந்தநாராயணனுடன் இளம் வழக்கறிஞராக பணிபுரிந்து இன்று புகழேரியின் உச்சியிலே சென்று கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அன்பு தம்பி கே பாலு அவர்களே, என் பேரன்புக்குரிய சக நீதியரசர்கள், நீதியரசர் சதீஷ்குமார் அவர்களே, நீதியரசர் தண்டபாணி அவர்களே, இங்கே எனக்கு முன்னால் உரையாற்றி சென்றிருக்கக்கூடிய மதிப்புக்குரிய அட்வொகேட் ஜெனரல் P.S. ராமன் அவர்களே, எவர் சார்மிங், எவர் டைனமிக், மகா பிரசிடென்ட் என்று பெயரை பெற்ற என் அருமை தம்பி எஸ். பிரபாகர் அவர்களே, அவர் வளர்ந்ததை பார்த்து மகிழ்ந்தவன் நான். அந்த காலகட்டத்திலே எங்கள் சேம்பருக்கு தான் வருவார். சிறப்பாக பணிபுரிந்துவிட்டு அவர் மாலை நேரத்தில் எங்கள் அலுவலகத்திலே வந்து விடுவார், உரையாற்றுவார், மகிழ்வார். மறக்க முடியாத நிகழ்ச்சி. அவர் வளர்ந்த விதம் மிகப்பெரிய சாதனை என்று சொல்வேன். ரியலி கிரேட். Sheer dint of his sincere, honest and hard work is rose to the level of all India level vice chairman. Hats off to him. என் மதிப்புக்குரிய மூத்த வழக்கறிஞர் எஸ். ரவி அவர்களே, எனக்கு முன்னால் உரையாற்றிய என் அன்பு தம்பி டைனமிக் கவர்மெண்ட் லீடர் எட்வின் பிரபாகர் அவர்களே, அழகு தமிழில் அற்புதமாக பேசி அமர்ந்திருக்கக்கூடிய நான் வளர்ந்த தஞ்சை தருணியினுடைய அருமையான வழக்கறிஞர் வைஸ் சேர்மன் வி. கார்த்திகேயன் அவர்களே, பெருமைக்குரிய இந்த புகழ்பெற்ற பார் கவுன்சில் ஆஃப் தமிழ்நாடுடைய பெண் உறுப்பினர் சகோதரி பிரிசிலா பாண்டியன் அவர்களே, இந்த அற்புதமான விழாவை மிக அழகு தமிழிலும் ஆங்கிலத்திலும் சிறப்பாக தொகுத்து வழங்கி கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய அருமை சகோதரர் டி. சரவணன் அவர்களே, அவருக்கு ஒரு சிறப்பு தகுதி உண்டு. தமிழகத்திலேயே ஒரு தனியார் தொடங்கப்பட்ட முதல் கல்லூரி சென்ட்ரல் லா காலேஜ் சேலம். The credit goes to his beloved father, R.V. Dharabalan. We cannot forget, he is our professor. We cannot forget. From his college, two of our young and dynamic are very brilliant judges, Honorable Justice Senthil Kumar, Honorable Justice Arul Murugan. They are the products of from his institution. Several district judges, several judicial officers are the products of Central Law College. Really, hats off to him. இங்கே இந்த இனிய நாளில் வழக்கறிஞராக பதிவு செய்து பெருமையுடன் அமர்ந்திருக்கின்ற என் அன்பு சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, உங்களை எல்லாம் அன்பு மலர்கள் தூவி வருக வருக என்று வரவேற்பதில் நான் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். இந்த விழாவிலே நான் கலந்து கொண்டதற்கு 2 காரணம். ஒன்று, என் அருமை தம்பி வழக்கறிஞர், துடிப்பு மிக்க வழக்கறிஞர் டி. ராஜா அவர்களுடைய மனைவி. ஷி இஸ் ஆக்சுவலி இப்போ பேசிக்கலி அன் இன்ஜினியர். ஷி ஹஸ் பிகம் அ அட்வொகேட் டுடே. இன்னொருவர், அவரை இருவரை வாழ்த்த தான் வந்தேன். இன்னொருவர் என்னிடம் இன்டர்னாக பணிபுரிந்து இன்று மிக புகழ்ந்த வழக்கறிஞராக இளம் வயதிலேயே ஆகியிருக்கக்கூடிய திரு அஸ்வின் குமார் அவர்களிடம் படிக்கின்ற காலத்திலேயே பயிற்சியாளராக சேர்ந்த ஸ்வஹேப் ஃபாசில் என்ற ஒரு இளைஞர். கடந்த 1 மாத காலமாக அவர் எனக்கும் பல வழக்குகளில் உதவி செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறார். உச்ச நீதிமன்றத்தில் ஆஜராகக்கூடிய வழக்குகளில் வெரி பிரில்லியன்ட் யங் டைனமிக். ஓரிரு வார்த்தைகள் 2 நிமிடம் பேசுங்கள் என்று தலைவர் அமல்ராஜ் அவர்களும் என்னுடைய அன்பு இளவல் கே. பாலு அவர்களும் எனக்கு இந்த பெரிய வாய்ப்பை அளித்து உங்களில் 1200 வழக்கறிஞர் இளைய சகோதரிகள் வரக்கின்ற வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்ற பெரும் பாக்கியத்தை பெற்றமைக்கு நான் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். இந்த விழாவினுடைய சிறப்பை பற்றி எல்லாம் கூறிவிட்டார்கள். எனக்கு எதை சொல்வது எதை விடுவது என்று தெரிவதில்லை. சிறப்பு சட்ட நாள். இன்னும் ஒரு சிறப்பு, நீங்கள் எல்லாம் பெருமைப்படக்கூடிய நம் பாசத்திற்கும் நேசத்திற்கும் உரிய தலைமை நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் முன்னால் நீங்கள் சட்ட வழக்கறிஞராக ஆகின்ற ஒரு பெரும் பாக்கியத்தை பெற்றிருக்கிறீர்கள். மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அளிக்கிறது. தம்பி பாலு அவர்களும் சேர்மன் அமல்ராஜ் அவர்களும் கார்த்திகேயன் அவர்களும் எல்லாம் அவரை பற்றி போற்றி புகழ்ந்து போடாரம் சூட்டி மகிழ்ந்தார்கள். நான் ஒரு 2 நிமிடத்தில் ஓரிரு வார்த்தைகள் கூறி விடைபெற வேண்டுகிறேன் அவரை குறித்து. தேரழகும் தெருவழகும் சேர்ந்தால் ஊரழகு பெறும், கல்பாத்தி ஆரோடும் அழகிய ஊர். பாரத புழா நதிக்கு நீர் சேர்க்கும் வகையில் பாரதத்தின் எல்லா திசைகளிலும் கல்பாத்தி நீர் உண்ட மக்கள் உண்டு. தமிழ் மண் தந்த மக்களை இறை சேவைக்கென தெரிவித்துக் கொண்ட நிலம். கல்பாத்தி கடவுளின் சொந்த நிலமான கேரளாவின் ஐகானிக் அடையாளம். மலையாளத்தை குழைத்து தமிழ் சேர்க்கும் அழகு பாலாடை பிரதமன் போல் காதுமடல் தடவும் கந்தர்வத்தேன். தலைமை நீதியரசர் ஸ்ரீராம் அவர்கள் மும்பையில் வாசம், எனினும் கல்பாத்தி தான் சுவாசம். தாய்மொழியில் தமிழ் என உறக்க பேசும் துலாக்கோள் நேர்மை. சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்ற பெற்ற நேர்மை கோட்டின் நீச்சி. நம்மோடு இணையும் தலைமை நீதியரசர் கால்படும் நேரம் நீதியின் பாதையில் புதிய சுவடுகள் பதியும் என்பது நிச்சயம். வாழும் தமிழ் மகளின் மடியில் நீதி பெறரசு அமது என்பது தமிழின் தவத்தை தலைமை நீதியரசர் பெறுகிறார் என்பது உண்மை. Our honorable justice, always simple, humble and unassuming, always dynamic. He has come from the Chartered High Court of Bombay to this great Chartered High Court of Madras. Really, we are proud of him. உடுத்த நேரம் 2 மணி துளிகள். நான் எடுத்த நேரம் அதிகமாகக்கூடாது என்ற கவனத்தில் உங்களை வாழ்த்தி போற்றி புகழ்ந்து போடாரம் சூட்டி விடைபெற எண்ணுகின்றேன். நீங்கள் எல்லாம் நாளைய தினம் வடக்கு மன்றத்திலே வாதாடப் போகின்றவர்கள். மக்களுடைய உரிமைக்காக அரசியல் அமைப்பு சட்டத்தில் கொடுக்கப்பட்ட அடிப்படை உரிமைகளுக்காக போராடப் போகிறவர்கள், வாதாடப் போகிறவர்கள். நிரபராதிகளை காக்கின்ற பணியிலே ஈடுபடப் போகிறவர்கள், குற்றவாளிகளை தண்டிக்கின்ற பணியிலே உங்களை அர்ப்பணிக்கப் போகிறவர்கள். எத்தனை வழக்குகள் கணவன் மனைவிகளை இடையே சமரசம் ஏற்படுகின்ற சமரச தூதுவரலாக ஆகப் போகிறவர்கள். பல வகையில் உங்களுக்கு வாய்ப்புகள் காத்து கிடக்கின்றன. இன்றைய தினம் it's vast. You have number of branches: environmental law, banking law, cyber crime. What I cannot take much time to explain what are all the opportunities available to you. நாளைய தினமே freshers are eligible to contest for judgeship. இந்த பெருமை தமிழ்நாடு பார் கவுன்சிலை பொறுத்தவரை ஒரு 2 வார்த்தை கூறி விடைபெற எண்ணுகின்றேன். சமீபத்தில் 2024 தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட சிவில் நீதிபதிகள் 250 பேர் கொண்ட திட்டத்தில் சேர்க்கப்பட்டார்கள். அதில் 70% பேர்கள் இவர்கள் அளித்த பயிற்சி. உங்களை அவர்கள் நேசக்கரத்தோடு உங்களுக்கு பயிற்சி தருகின்ற பாடங்களை கற்பிக்கின்ற கோச்சிங் சென்டரை நடத்துகிறார்கள். அதில் நாடும் அருமை சகோதரர் நீதியரசர் இப்ராஹிம் கலிஃபுல்லா அவர்களும் நீதியரசர் கண்ணன் அவர்களும் கலந்து கொண்ட வாய்ப்பினை பெற்றோம். both coaching classes, lectures and as well as mock interview என்று நடத்தினார்கள். உள்ள போனால் அத்தனை பேரும் செலக்ட் ஆனார்கள். ஏனென்று சொன்னால் செலக்ட் ஆனதுக்கு பிறகு நான் அருமை சகோதரர் நீதியரசர் கேட்டுக்கொண்டது, ஒரு நீதியரசர் கேட்டுக்கொண்டது பேரில் நான் ஜுடிஷியல் அகாடமியில் அவர்கள் எல்லோரிடமும் உரையாற்றுகின்ற வாய்ப்பினை பெற்றேன். பார்க்கும்போது எல்லோரும் அந்த கோச்சிங் கிளாஸுக்கு வந்தவர்கள். 6 பேர் மாவட்ட நீதிபதிகளாக டைரக்ட் ரெக்ரூட்மெண்ட். எனக்கு நான் பார்த்த 3 பேர் இவர்களது பயிற்சி. மனிதநேய அகாடமியும் இவர்கள் பார் கவுன்சில் நடத்த பயிற்சியில் வெற்றி வாகை சூடி மாவட்ட நீதிபதிகளாக ஆகியிருக்கார்கள். அந்த வாய்ப்பு உங்களுக்கும் கிடைக்கும் என்று போற்றி பாராட்டி இறைவனை வேண்டி உங்களிடமிருந்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
உணர்ச்சி மிக்க உணர்வோடு தாய் உள்ளத்தோடும் மனநிறைவோடும் வாழ்த்தி சென்ற மேனாள் உயர்நீதிமன்ற நீதியரசர் KN பாஷா அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றிகள். Now the time to felicitate our judges.
Now I request Mr. P.S. Amalraj, Chairman of the Bar Council, and Mr. S. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate and Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, to felicitate our Honorable Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. Please, Lordships. P.S. Amara, and of the Bar Council, Mr. Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, to felicitate our Honorable Chief Justice, the Madras High Court. Thank you, Lordships. Now I request Mr. V. Karthikeyan, Vice Chairman of the Bar Council, and Mr. G. Mohanakrishnan, Co-Chairman, to honor our Honorable Mr. Justice K.N. Basha, former Judge of the Honorable High Court. Please, Lordships. Now I Mr. G. Mohanakrishnan, Co-Chairman, to honor Mr. Justice K.N. Basha, former Judge of the Honorable. Thank you, Lordships. Please, Lordships. Now I request Mr. K. Balu, Chairman, Enrollment Committee, and Mrs. J. Priscilla Pandian, Member of the Enrollment Committee, to honor Mr. S. Ravi, Senior Advocate. All right. Enrollment and Mrs. J. Member of the Mr. S. Ravi. Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. D. Saravanan, Co-Chairman and Member of the Enrollment Committee, and Mr. G. Talemuttarasu, Member, Bar Council, to honor Mr. Edwin Prabhakar, Government Pleader. Thank you, sir. Now I request Justice Dandabani and Honorable Mr. Justice Satish Kumar, Judges of the Honorable High Court of Madras. Thank you, Lordships. Thank you, Lordships.
Now I extend my invitation to our Honorable Chief Justice. We believe that your presence and address will greatly enrich the understanding of the law and its application to the young budding lawyers. Lordship, please.
Dear brothers, Justice Satish Kumar and Justice Dandapani, Sri P.S. Raman, the Advocate General, who has had to leave early, Sri Justice K.N. Basha, who was one of the first persons I met from the Madras Judiciary, though by then he had demitted office, and he had come as a resource person at the National Judicial Academy in September 2013. And from that time onwards, we formed a mutual admiration society. Sri Amalraj, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamilnadu and Puducherry, Sri Prabhakaran, Senior Advocate and Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Sri Karthikeyan, Sri Ravi, Sri Edwin Prabhakar, Mrs. Priscilla Pandian, Mr. D. Saravanan, office bearers of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu, members of the legal fraternity, future leaders of the bar. Don't I get a clap for that to call you all? Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. For a moment I thought, whose felicitation was going on here? Was it my felicitation or to felicitate all the budding young lawyers who are just waiting to go in top gear into the legal profession? It gives me immense pleasure to be here on this solemn occasion of Law Day and the enrollment function of 1,200 plus young lawyers. This state, this Tamilagam, has proved one thing ever since I have come here we have the largest number of lady judges. And the other day when I went for a function to felicitate the newly appointed judicial officers, out of 230, 125 were women and 95 were men. And today I heard somebody say over 500 are here. Kudos to all of you and to this great state to encourage ladies, the girls, to get into this legal profession. This event is not a mere formality but a poignant reminder of the responsibilities that come with the privilege of practicing law. The speakers before me have spoken a lot about what is constitution, etc., etc. But what I'm going to tell you is the topic given is ethics and etiquette in the legal profession, and I'm going to speak to you from my heart. First of all, there has to be an element of trust. First of all, you have to trust yourself, and the clients have to trust you, and more importantly, the judges have to trust you. I would pitch the level so high that the trust that a judge should develop in you as a lawyer is if you say sun rises in the west, the judge will not dismiss it. He may think, possibly. That's the element of trust you should have. The judges should develop in you. There is a saying, character is what you think about yourself, reputation is what others think about you. Many may say, I don't care for reputation. I know my character, I know myself. But when you go as a professional and you're basically the spokesperson for the client who has some litigation, some issue, you have to develop a reputation that this person is not someone who will pull a fast one. In fact, you have to make the court comfortable, not to be on the guard all the time to expect some googly from the lawyers. A lot of things during your practice you will come to know about your clients. A client will come and tell you a lot of things in confidence. Confidentiality building is very, very important. There are a lot of privileged information that you would get from your client. Please do not even discuss about it with your shadow. Because that confidence you have to keep, maintain the absolute secret on what you hear from your client. Professional courtesy. Please do your work dispassionately. You will be able to even tell your client that what they think and what they want is not correct. When somebody asks you for an opinion, you should give the opinion what you think is correct and not what your client would want to hear. Just as the Advocate General mentioned about reading. Reading is very, very important. And I would say not just the judgments and precedents and the law book. Over a period it gets boring. You must read everything. You should have your ears to the ground. You should know what is happening. And anything that you read is information that you are gathering. You never know when and in what situation you may have to churn it out of your brain to use it in a matter that you are doing. So please keep reading, and reading. Read various topics you can read. When, like a normal newspaper that you would read books on or magazines relating to economics, finance, etc., so that you are aware as to what is happening. It's not, when you approach a matter, it's not what just the law says. The way you approach should be an all-encompassing, knowing the factual situation, how in-ground reality issues work. Mistakes. There was a matter where when the 1996 Act, Arbitration Act came into force, I was put on the job for an American multinational. Within few months, I made a mistake. I applied under Section 11 in Bombay, whereas it should have been an international arbitration and application should have been made in the Supreme Court. The first day the matter came up, before those days the Chief Justice would hear the Section 11 application. The moment the matter was called out, my opponent said, the applicant is an American company and it is international arbitration. This court has no jurisdiction. I told the Chief Justice, I'm sorry, I think I have made a mistake. Could you keep it next week? Let me take instructions. I came back to the chamber, told my senior, and my senior said, first thing you should do is pick up the telephone, talk to your client, and tell that you made a mistake. And I should tell you, when I spoke to the client and said I made a mistake, the client was, I couldn't believe. He said, thank you very much for telling me that you made a mistake. We will engage lawyers in Delhi to get this arbitrators appointed. But I can only assure you one thing, you will do the arbitration for us, because that's the element of faith we have in you. And that was one of the finest clients I had, because the element of trust a client should have in you. You may win, you may lose. So long as a client has confidence you are doing the right thing and you are working for the interest of the client, you have got a permanent client who will be taking care of your fees. At court, when you are in the court, when you are arguing a matter, naturally every time, even you would in your own conscience, in your mind, know that you don't have a fairly good case. Or perhaps you feel that you have a good case, but it is not necessary that the judge always agrees with you. The judge may have his own perception about a matter or her own perception of a matter. Please maintain the tone and the courtesy that you would show to the judge. No client is worth upsetting the judge. It's not a personal fight that you're having. You're only presenting a case and to see that your client gets justice. If the court is not correct, you have the appeal remedies available. So please maintain your manners in court. Show mutual respect to everybody. Don't expect to win all cases. And most importantly, honesty. Some of the speakers mentioned about be truthful. You're all young. Money is very hard to come, particularly in your initial stages of practice. We have all gone through it. It's been tough. And when you have parents who want you to grow on your own, and the day you get your LLB degree, say you're now cut off, fend for yourself, it becomes very tough. This is the path in your career, the aisle that you see here. It's a very, very slippery aisle. Do not, I repeat, do not succumb to temptation. You might have situation when you are hard-pressed. You might be getting temptations, but please do not succumb to any temptation, because first of all, you will lose in your own eyes. You will fall in grace in your own eyes. And secondly, the path is so slippery that you will never be able to rise again. It's only one way down, morally and in every respect. It's a slippery slope. So please do not succumb to any temptation. We read the pledge about various things. But what was most noticeable is do not encourage corruption. Please do not encourage corruption. You will hear, you will talk, people will say a lot of things. But please never ever encourage corruption, because public have faith in the judiciary. Do not be a party to kill that faith that people have in judiciary. I'm not saying for a moment there is corruption happening, but there is a possibility that you might be tempted in your early stages. It helps maintain decorum, discipline, and a sense of solemnity that reflects the importance of the proceedings. Respecting the court, addressing judges appropriately, and adhering to the established practices are vital aspects of maintaining the dignity of the legal system. We, as legal professionals, set the example for others in how to conduct ourselves with dignity and courtesy. We must remember that our words, actions, and attitudes set the tone for proceedings and have an impact on the perception of justice in society. Be fair to your opponents. Many would have read about Mahabharata. Even in Mahabharata, at sunset the war will stop and it will begin again the next morning. That was the element of fairness that they followed. Unfortunately, we don't see that level of fairness nowadays, but please, the baton is in your hand. You be an example of being a fair opponent. Another thing, you're all so privileged to have parents who could afford to send you to law school, live in a hostel, have your various wishes fulfilled. There are many in this world who cannot even afford a basic education. Take an oath today like you took an oath earlier, that in your lifetime you will educate at least one child with whatever money you earn. Please keep aside a part of your income to educate people, because there are many who don't get even basic education. You have been lucky, and getting involved in charitable activities makes you a complete human being, brings out the compassion in you, and that is what makes you a human being. Keep in mind, money is not everything in life. Money comes, money goes. Don't spend your life chasing money. Take care of your family, spend time with your family, and particularly when your parents, now you're all going to be big lawyers, the leaders of the bar, and at the same time, your parents are growing old. They need you. Spend time in the evening when you go home. 10 minutes, sit with your parents, chat as to what happened during the day. Just watch the kind of happiness they will have that their child has come and told them what happened during the day. Oh, I did this, I did that, I had this. You may have had problems, so at least you will have your parents to console you. That's okay, you will have tomorrow will be a good day for you. Justice Basha, somebody mentioned about the various, I think just Mr. Prabhakaran mentioned about the various fields of practice that you could have. Those were the days when either you were a civil lawyer or a criminal lawyer. And then came a time when we became maritime lawyers. And then now you have specialization in every field. I work only on corporates. I do only NCLT. I do only environmental matters. I go only to NGT, etc. That is the kind of option you are going to have. Just imagine the variety of work you can select of what you like to do, and make the best use of that, because you can do what you feel passionate about, and then grow in your career in that chosen field. Let us strive to be not only skilled lawyers, but also exemplars of ethical conduct and courteous behavior. Your journey begins with the foundational values you choose to uphold, and I am confident that each of you has within you the potential to make lasting contributions to your esteemed profession. As we commemorate the Law Day, let us renew our commitment to upholding the highest standards of ethics and etiquette in our profession. Let us remember that our role is not simply to practice law, but to embody the principles of fairness, justice, and equality that form the bedrock of our society. Let us be mindful of the trust placed in us and honor our duty to serve justice, uphold the Constitution, and preserve the integrity of our legal system. In doing so, we will not only contribute to the growth and strength of our legal institutions, but also to the advancement of a just, ethical, and equitable society. Thank you. Jai Hind. Bless you all.
Your words of wisdom and guidance have motivated not only the budding lawyers, it is for us to excel in our profession. We are grateful for the time you took to share your valuable experiences with us. More particularly, your Lordship has pointed out, build the character, confidence, and confidentiality, building mutual respect and courteous to the clients, gather more information by reading lots and lots of books, magazines, be prepared to accept the mistake, build the trust and faith with the client, don't get tempted to make money in shortcut, educate at least one child when you get comfortable with your life. Thank you, Lordship, for your wonderful speech. Before we close with the vote of thanks, there is a blockage of roads. The public is into trouble. We have been getting informations and instructions from the High Court judges. Please inform all the parents, relatives, friends who is waiting outside to felicitate you, not to disturb the public and nuisance to the public. Thank you. Now we close up with the vote of thanks. Now I request our member, Mrs. Priscilla Pandian, to address.
Good evening to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. அனைவருக்கும் என் மனமார்ந்த மாலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். It is a great joy and honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion as we celebrate this National Day and the enrollment function in the presence of our Chief Justice of Madras, a practical man and a dynamic person. We are really glad in your presence, Lordship, as it is always a tough job to deliver the vote of thanks, because by the end of the function, every speaker would have given you all the inputs and ideas and ideologies, and our patience level also would have gone up to its highest level. But I take the opportunity, and with justice, I take the responsibility to do my job. Before I go on to the vote of thanks, I would just like to share a few words to the new enrolled on this National Law Day. This day has several highlights, and the presence of our Honorable Chief Justice, the on this National Law Day function, and enrollment of our young lawyers into the bar. As lawyers and legal scholars, we have a duty to protect the sacred documents and uphold the importance of the rule of law, which is the cornerstone of any functionary democracy. As we reflect on today's discussion, I am reminded of a powerful quotes of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. However good a constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad, because those who are called the work, it happens to be bad lot. However bad a constitution may be, it may turn out to be good if those who are called to work, it happens to be a good lot. This quote underlines our responsibilities as citizens, policymakers and professionals to uphold the Constitution of both letter and spirit. It is not just a legal document, but a moral compass that guides us toward creating a society based on fairness and equality. And conclusion. To my young lawyers, it is you to choose wisely, fix a goal, and try to follow whatever objections comes in between, and try not to deviate from your goal. And be patient while you make your choice, and once you have made it, don't waste time, and thereafter you can reach great heights. Especially I want to tell the women folk who have got enrolled today. As a woman, we are created by God to do a multitask. So don't ever give up your profession. Along with your house duties, your family duties, you are supposed to take up the profession with great heights, and I wish you all a great success in your career. I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to this Lordship for gracing this occasion with his presence and making this event a remarkable one. Our Honorable Chief Justice of Madras High Court is a people justice, a man who knows is known for his simplicity and humbleness. His Lordship's public-oriented approach has shown the importance of judicial activism for the welfare of public. In his busy schedule, His Lordship had accepted to be the part of the ceremony to address the young minds before us today on professional ethics and equities. Your Lordship's inspiration words and valuable insights have truly enlightened us. Your Lordship's words of wisdom and guidance have always been a source to strengthen our legal community, and I can say with a lot of conviction that my young friends present here will follow your Lordship's words of wisdom. Thank you, Lordship, for your wonderful presence. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to our felicitator, P.S. Raman, Advocate General of Tamil Nadu, for his words of wisdom, which has truly done the job and justice to its function. And I sincerely thank our former Judge K.N. Basha for being with us and giving a wonderful speech for the young budding lawyers. I thank our Honorable Justice of our Madras High Court, Mr. Satish Kumar J. and Tandabani J. for being with us and blessing this enrolled advocates. I also like to express our thanks to our chairman, dynamic chairman, Amal Raj, for making this special day a remarkable moment for the newly enrolled lawyers. I thank our Vice Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, for his wonderful speech in Tamil, for touching the minds of each budding lawyers. I thank our senior lawyer, Mr. Ravi, for giving a wonderful speech. I thank Mr. Edwin Prabhakaran, Government Pleader, Madras High Court, for his valuable speech and suggestions. And I thank our members, co-members, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Balu, Mr. Saravanan, who have been with me all through this enrollment to make it a grand success. I thank the co-chairman, Mr. Krishnan for being with us to give his presence to the newly enrolled advocates. I give a special thanks to our Vice Chairman, Bar Council of India and Senior Advocate, Mr. S. Prabhakaran, for his insights and words of wisdom to our young minds present here. I'm sure it would have inspired each one of us. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the members present here for their contribution in pulling up this event. It is not simple to pull up this event and especially organize it along with the enrollment function, and an appreciation is due for the staffs of the Bar Council. I take this opportunity to thank our secretary and the staffs for pulling up this mega event to a great success. I also once again like to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Your presence and participations have made this celebration and this remembrance of this National Day truly special. As we leave today, let us carry forward the message of the Constitution, its enduring relevance, and its promise of a just, equitable, and inclusive India. Let us strive to honor the vision of our founding fathers by our just celebrating democracy, but by living in it, our actions every day. Thank you once again for making this event a very successful one. Jai Hind.
Thank you once again for making this event a very successful one.
Thank you, ma'am. This is the time for National Anthem. I request one and all to rise.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता